My mother once told me something beautiful one day. As a child, I asked her, "Mom, what is your most cherished moment in life?" You know, I expected her to say something like the day she graduated or, the day she met her husband. But what she said surprised me. She looked at me, she smiled, and she said, "This moment right now." Because yesterday is gone and tomorrow is not guaranteed. To this day, that still resonates with me because time is always passing us by. But if we realize that and we can catch it while it's happening, we're much less likely to wake up one day and say, where did all the time go? Something she does to this day is take pictures. But I mean millions of pictures. We'll be at an event and she'll be spending more time on that than actually enjoying the event. And I used to wonder, why does she do that? But then I realized she's trying to create something that's gonna last forever because she realizes that she won't be around forever, or I won't be around forever. We only guaranteed this moment right now, and that's something that she knew. I think back to my early childhood days. My mother would always try to take me outside to see the sunrise or see the sunset, and I can clearly remember thinking, "Mom, why do we need to go see it today? We saw it yesterday, and it's surely going to come out tomorrow. So why can't I just continue playing video games?" 5 years ago, I came to a realization that has changed my life forever. I realized that I'll never get to see that again. I'll never see that specific sunrise ever again. That's the last time it'll happen in my life. Similar to when people are facing death, something happens. They stop taking life for granted. The small, everyday moments become incredibly valuable because they know that'll be the last time they do that thing. A quick search on the internet uncovered several regrets that people have when they're on their deathbed. A lot of these were eye-opening to me. Number one, not being happier. Some people eventually realize that being happy is a choice. It was a choice that they didn't make, and so they regret not making that. To show others happiness, to give that, to reflect that off of their self is contagious, and they regret it. Number two, not taking enough risks and letting fear control the decisions they made in their life. Whether it's asking that girl out on a date that could have ended in a 30-year marriage full of laughter and happiness, or whether it's moving to a totally different city and just giving up that safety net that could have ended in this marvelous life full of friends and family. Number three, not expressing themselves enough. Some people regret not having the courage to tell their friends or family how they really feel about certain subjects. What they don't realize, that could have easily elevated that relationship to another level, a level with true happiness and enjoyment. Number four, not living true to themselves. Some people wish they had the courage to live a life that's true to what they want to do, the person that they want to be, instead of being attached to what other people think about them, which leads them to live a life that other people expect of them. Number five, not staying in touch with loved ones. Oftentimes we always think that aunt or that grandma or that sister is going to be there tomorrow, so let me put that off. I'm busy right now doing something that doesn't really matter. From these 5 regrets, we learn that it's not about the achievements that we didn't reach. It's about the experiences that we missed out on, like taking that cooking class with your mother, traveling to places you've never seen before, making that beaded necklace with your daughter, taking that dance class that you always wanted to, kissing your spouse or your partner one more time, getting that friendship tattoo with your best buddy, calling your parents to see how their day is going. My personal favorite, just having a rough day being able to come home, see your child's face smile, and run into your arms. All this points to a very simple truth. We spend so much time stressing about the future or the past, but really the magic is in the here and the now. Every day that passes is dead and gone. And when you realize that when you're killing time, time is actually killing you, that changes your relationship with life. You gain a different perspective on life. You start to prioritize things differently as you begin to realize how important the second right in front of you is, and that if you ignore it, it dies. Gone. Forever. Which brings me to my next point of falling into the trap of being addicted to going after achievements. We get caught in this trap of thinking, I'll be happy once I finally hit that goal, or I can finally relax once I get to that milestone. But the truth is, happiness isn't found at the finish line. It's found in the process of who we become along the way. Take it from my own experience. When I was starting this YouTube channel, I waited months to finally feel like, okay, I'm ready to post my first video. And even when I did, it was so rough in the early days. I would always think to myself why next month would be a better time, or even next year. And it didn't help that thoughts would creep into my mind like, are these people even going to be interested in what I'm saying? Or even worse, would they think some way about me? Staying motivated was hard. Putting myself out there was hard. But I found the real joy came when I started focusing less on the end goal and more on the skills that I'm picking up along the way. Maybe it was the improvement that I'm seeing in myself after each and every video, or maybe it was the comment that someone left on how I was changing their life for the better. Those little things made the journey so much more rewarding. Those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to do it, but you push yourself anyways. That is actually the dream. In the end, I evolved into this different person who learned so much in the process. A person that's almost unrecognizable to myself. That's where most people get stuck, waiting for that perfect moment, waiting for the stars to align, waiting until they feel ready. But here's the truth. Clarity doesn't come from waiting. It comes from doing. There will always be an obstacle. So if you're waiting on the right time, you'll never make a move. You have to go now. When you have these ideas of greatness, you gotta go forward, because there isn't going to be a right time. If you're ever planning on soaring with the eagles, you gotta make that jump. We often wait for the right time, for all the information, for the magical confidence to just appear. But that's not how it works. This path that you're going on, you don't always see the finish line from the beginning. You create it by doing, by walking, and each step of the way you learn the next step. Yeah, taking that first step is gonna feel uncomfortable. Most people are looking for ways to make things more comfortable because it's natural. We want to relax. We want to be comfortable. We want to do things that feel good. You might be afraid of failing, and you might be afraid of just not knowing what to do next. But the pain of feeling stuck is way worse than the pain of not taking action, because every day that you stay in place is a day that you're further away from the life that you actually want to live. One of the most common problems that people have, it's not that they don't know how to dramatically improve their life. They just can't bring themselves to actually do it because they say they're not ready yet. When you actually start before you're ready, something powerful happens. You start to build up momentum, and every step you take forward, you start to build up more confidence. You start to feel more capable. It's the vote that you put into yourself. It's the person that you want to become. Suddenly, the things you thought were just overwhelming start to feel not so hard anymore. What felt impossible finally feels achievable. Here's the thing. You don't need to know every single step. It's just the one that's right in front of you. And this brings me to my next point. The only moment we truly have is now, but we often live like we have this infinite amount of years that's in front of us, as if we'll always have time to do the things that really matter. Every time you cut your hair or trim your nails, that's one last time that you'll ever do that. That's literally our body notating the time is passing. So if all we have is right now, instead of some distant future where you're waiting to live that life that you really want to live, why not start today? So start that side hustle, write that book, make that phone call, book that flight. But most importantly, be yourself. When you're truly being yourself, you have to be okay with violating people's expectations of you. You have to be okay with disappointing them. When you're so attached to what other people may think of you, instead of living the life that you really want to live, you end up living the life that they expect you to live. So what would your life look like if you weren't worried about what others thought of you? Sometimes we spend too much time waiting on life to happen. Sometimes we need to start being the life instead of trying to see it. So what would life look like if you went all in? What would it look like if you were having the most fun you ever had in your life? At the end of the day, the only person you have to answer to is yourself. When you look back, it's not going to be about the achievements you made. It's going to be about who you became along the way. Even the smallest actions can dramatically change the end results. So go live it. Spend your time on what actually matters to you, and don't wait till it's too late, because the only regret you'll have in your life is that you didn't start sooner. Remember, it's not about what you did yesterday or what you're planning on doing tomorrow. So start today and put your plan into action. Eric, my guy, I dedicate this video to you. You touched so many hearts in your short-lived life. You inspired us to be the change. You left some huge shoes to fill as an older brother, figuratively and literally. But I have faith that Preston has learned enough from you, and he can pick up the torch and keep it going. We love you, my guy. I know I didn't get to tell you enough while you're around, but best believe I won't make that mistake again. Peace. We love you.